Chof Gimel Amud Beis. We'll begin Chof Gimel Amud Aleph, 3 lines from the bottom. V'amar Rabba Marchana ki hava azela b'asrei Rabbi Yochanan. He said when he was going behind Rabbi Yochanan, ki hava azlina b'asrei Rabbi Yochanan ki hava bo l'meila beis hakisei. When he had to go to the bathroom, he was holding a sefer of Agarata of the Midrashim, Aviyabala. Before he went into the bathroom, he used to give it to us for safekeeping because he would not bring it into the bathroom. But when he was holding a tefillin, he did not give us the tefillin. Since the Rabbanan say it's mutter, now even though here I have an easy alternative, and the one said it's mutter because they didn't want the tefillin to be lying and even putting in a hole or in a cubby. People might come and take it, and a hole in the ground, achborim might come and take it. Now here, even though there's an easy alternative, but Lamaisa, the Rabbanan said it's mutter to carry the tefillin in. So since it's mutter, therefore they said it's mutter and nachan, let me take it in rather than give it to you. Because the tefillin should be for me a shimur, and it would protect me and guard me from mazikin. And in those days, especially, the bathrooms were in the field, there were mazikin. So since the Rabbanan said it's mutter, let me take it in so I'll have a shimur from the mazikin. When I went behind Rabbi Gamliel, similar Maisa, he had Sefer Agarata, he gave it to us to watch. He did not give us the tefillin. Rabbanan says, mutter, let me take it in so it will protect me. A person should not hold a tefillin in his hand, a Sefer Torah, and his arm and daven. It will impede his concentration. Since he knows that he has to protect this and it shouldn't fall, etc. So therefore, it will stare his concentration. And he should not relieve himself. He should not urinate. And he should not sleep with him, not a permanent sleep, not a major sleep, or not even a temporary sleep. So he should not sleep with the tefillin on. And there's 2 reasons given. Masechet over here and in Sukkah, and Rashi speaks out differently in different places. Rashi over here says that he should not sleep with them, but in Masechet Sukkah, Rashi says that he should not because they might fall. As the Goyen points out, that it says that by holding them and he's sleeping, they might fall from his hands. And Rabbi Kiveger points out this steer in Rashi as well. Amr Shmuel Sakin Moisakara Kikarel Kiyosban says holding a knife in davening, money or a plate or food is Kiyosban. It will impede his concentration if he's holding them while he's davening. Amr Rava Amr Sheshes Lesil Sukiyamas Nisa. He says what we learned before in the halach is not like that. The Beis Shammai, because it's following Beis Shammai. The Beis Hillel, Ashta Beis Kise Kavua Shori, Beis Hakise Arai Miboya. So it said we just learned that a person should not urinate with a tefillin. That L'chara is following the opinion of Beis Shammai. Now Beis Shammai said is that someone must remove the tefillin Dalet Amos before he comes into a Beis Hakise Kavua when he wants to relieve himself. Beis Hillel says it's permitted to take it in, to carry it in. Now here where it says that it's also lahashtin mayim over here lo yashtin behen, so he says that l'chara follows the opinion of Beis Shammai because hashta Beis Hillel in the permanent Beis Hakise, in a Beis Hakise where there's tzaya, they permit it. Over here where there's only an arai, normally a person would be mashtin mayim in a Beis Hakise arai. He wouldn't go to the trouble of finding a Beis Hakise kavua, an outhouse, so he would be in a Beis Hakise arai. So certainly if they permit it in a Beis Hakise kavua, they certainly should permit it taking it into a temporary Beis Hakise. So that's what Rava said. Beis Hillel asks you kasha. Is that really the opinion of Beis Hillel? Did Beis Hillel really say it's permitted in a Beis Kisei Arai? We learned in the Brayos of Devorim Sheitarti L'chod Kan, Asarti L'chod Kan. Things that I said are mutter here, but over here I said it's also. So what we're talking in this context, but so we're saying, what does that mean? Things that I said are mutter here, also there. My love tefillin. Is it not talking about tefillin? It's talking about the halacha of tefillin. Things that I say are mutter in one place are also in another place. Now, Beis Hillel, if it's following Beis Hillel, so what does it mean? Things that I said that are mutter to you, that's kavua. That you are allowed to take the tefillin into Beis Kisei kavua. Asar kan Beis Kisei haray. But Eliyam Beis Shammai, if it's following Beis Shammai, Beis Shammai never said anything is mutter. According to Beis Shammai, they said that everything would be aser. So it follows the opinion of Beis Hillel, and notwithstanding the fact that Beis Hillel said that in a Beis Kisei Kavua it's mutter to carry in the tefillin, but nevertheless in a Beis Kisei Arai it's aser lahashtin mayim. So there's previous brisa that said it's also apparently follows the opinion of Beis Hillel. Gemara says no, that's not what it means. It's not talking about carrying the tefillin, it's talking about how much a person can expose himself when he is in the bathroom. It's tefach or tefchaim, expose himself, uncover himself, a tefach or tzutfach. The Tanechad if the one brisa says that when he relieves himself, Megala la'achrav tefach, in back it's a tefach revealed, ulafanav tefachim, and in front it's two. The Tanyirech la'achrav tefach, the back ulafanav, v'loy klum, and nothing in front. So how do we resolve this apparent contradiction? My love, ish, aren't we talking in both cases by a man? V'loy kasha kan l'ktan. That we're talking the difference if he's really defecating or urinating. So therefore, what it's referring to is when it says Dvorim Sheitarti Kan, Asarti Kan, things that I am matter for you over here. That for Ketanim, when he urinates, he's allowed to uncover himself two tefachim because of the flow that is needed to. He has to uncover himself two tefachim to enable him to urinate. The Asarti Kan, I answered, when he defecates, you're not allowed to uncover yourself to that degree. That's what it's referring to. Perhaps it's not referring to tefillin at all. How could you say that if we're talking about ketanim, la'acharav tefach, how could you say when it says in the brisa, the first brisa that says in front of him two and in back one, if it's talking about ketanim, there's no need to uncover himself from behind at all. So la'acharav tefach lamali, so they can't be the pshat. So the Gemara now attempts another alternative, but still learning that it's not talking about tefillin, that it's talking about how much a person can uncover himself. Where it says a different alternative. No, it's talking about gedolim, it's talking about that he has to relieve himself for gedolim. A man has to uncover himself as gedolim. He has to uncover himself from behind, but in front also, because in the process of defecating he might urinate. But in Isha, there's no need to uncover herself from in front, so it's only from behind. So let's say that that's what it means. So dvorim sheitarti kan, things that I said are mutter kan by a man are also by a woman. How can that be? We learned on that it says this is a kal v'chomer that there's no, you cannot answer this. There should be a kal v'chomer to tell me the opposite. Now, if this is the case, if this is what it's referring to, mayin alav tshuva. Well, what do you mean there's no tshuva for this? Darka de milsahachi. It's perfectly logical. It's perfectly logical that by a man it's necessary, and by a woman it's not that necessary. So what does it mean? It's a kal v'chomer she'ein alav tshuva. That it's a kal v'chomer that you're saying it's a kal v'chomer that there's no tshuva for that. It's perfectly logical. So what does it mean that there's no answer to this question? It's perfectly understandable. Now we're going back to the previous explanation. what it means. We are talking about tefillin, that we're talking about that a lava tefillin, the tiyufta the rava. So it's a tiyufta the rava. So you see that we're saying that Beis Hillel says it's mutter to take the tefillin into the Beis Kisei Kavua, but nevertheless it's also lahashten mayim in Beis Kisei Aron. And therefore it's a tiyufta the rava and the brisa that says that it's also that to be mashten mayim, it's also lahashten, and the tefillah is following Beis Hillel, and Rava was saying it's less hilchos because that's Beis Shammai. No, it does follow Beis Hillel. Beis Hillel, in fact, does aser Beis Kisei Aron. Amar Sheshes tiyufta mikol malkim kasha. It's a tiyufta the Rava mikol malkim kasha, but there is a kal v'chaimer. Why don't we have a kal v'chaimer if they are matering in a Beis Kisei kavua to take the tefillin in? Why should they answer in a Beis Kisei Aron? It's a tiyufta the Rava enachnami. We are now establishing that Beis Hillel in fact holds that way. But what is the pshat? Hashta Beis Kisei kavua shor Beis Kisei Aron like kol sheken. The more answers hachi kol Beis Kisei kavua the lakanitzaitza short. Now, a Beis Kisei kavua, where the person is relieving himself and he's sitting down, there's no problem with the tefillin because we're not afraid of nitzaisis, so there might be droplets. But in a Beis Kisei Aron, the ikan nitzaisis, where the person is urinating, there might be drops, and a person is obligated to make sure that his shoes, his feet are not wet. If there are drops, people might think and be mitzilaz that he's a pushivcha and that his children are mamzerim, that he's not capable of having children. So he has to wipe his feet. And we're afraid that he will, and he has his tefillin. It's now he can't do that when he has the tefillin there. So asrei, that's why it's asr. On the surface, it seems to be counterintuitive. At the surface, it would seem if they allow you in a Beis Kisei kavua to take the tefillin, certainly they allow in a Beis Kisei Aron, which is not a place of busha to that extent. But nevertheless, because of nitzaisis, that's why they answer it. So what does it mean there's no tshuva? You can't answer this. It's tshuva mal yosi. We just gave a perfectly reasonable explanation. Where it says, time. This you can only explain by giving the reason. Because if you approach it from the position of a kal v'chaimer and without giving this reasoning, if you approach it from the vantage point of a kal v'chaimer, then the kal v'chaimer should tell you that it certainly should be mutter in a Beis Kisei Aron. Therefore, you have to approach it from the vantage point of a taima of understanding the reason. But l'maisa, Beis Hillel holds that a Beis Kisei kavua is mutter. Beis Kisei Aron is also lahashim because of nitzaisis. A person is going to a major meal. And, in those days, a person would go to a meal. There weren't bathrooms readily available, so he'd be there a long period of time. He wouldn't want to interrupt the su'ud in the middle and go out to the field to the bathroom. So he wants to make sure he relieves himself before the su'ud. He walks 10 times at intervals of 4 amas each, or 4 times in 4 intervals of 10 amas each, and he relieves himself and then he goes in. So as Rashi explains it, he walks these intervals and he attempts to relieve himself and walks these intervals again, and then this will enable him to relieve himself before he goes into the suda. If he's going into a large meal, a feast, he takes off his tefillin because we're afraid in a feast he might be drinking, and it might come to the shichrus. And then he goes into the meal. He says, no, you take the tefillin, you take it up and put it on the table. And that's the proper way to do it. But Amos, when do you put the tefillin back on? How long is it left off? Until benching. Tani Chada Tzer Adam Tefillah Ima Isa Bafar Kasusa, and one Tana learned that a person can put his tefillin in his handkerchief together with money. He can wrap it together with money in a handkerchief. But Tani Yidach, so he shouldn't. I seem to be a steer like kasha. From the Gemara, it's not a kasha. How the Azmanah, how the lay Azmanah. It makes a difference if it was designated for his tefillin. If it's a pouch or a handkerchief that was designated for his tefillin, that becomes the pouch of the tefillin. It's not proper to put anything else, to put money in that pouch. But if he didn't designate it for that, then it's mutter. If you have the sudra, the turban of the tefillin, the asmaneh, the metzubei tefillin, if it was designated for the use of the tefillin, tsar beit tefillin, and if it was used once already for the tefillin, also the metzubei pshita, you cannot put money into it. Asmaneh v'lei tsar, but if he only designated it, but he didn't use it yet, tsar beit v'lei asmaneh, or if he used it but didn't designate it for that purpose, shor l'metzubei zuzeh. Then it's mutter. It's only also if it was designated for the tefillin and was once used for the tefillin, you cannot use it then for money. But he says designation alone gives it that sanctity, and therefore once he designated he can't use it for money. Then once he designated it, then he can't use it for money. Sarbe, if he used it without designation, then it's only if he was designated it, then it would be also to put money in there.